the northeast. Even in Roanoke starting to dry up. Parts of the highlands are like that. A lot of the NRV is pretty dry for right now with lots of cloud cover. That's not going to go away anytime soon. And then we've got moderate to medium high rainfall rates as you get further towards the north. Around Lexington is where a lot of the rain is falling right now. And then towards Amherst, a little bit lighter in Lynchburg and Appomattox. This does stretch well down towards the south into North Carolina. Even some flood warnings down there with the rain that's been falling. We don't have that. In fact, a lot of the eastern part of our region has been dry recently, so it's going to be helpful to get this moisture coming in. Thankfully, it's not staying too stormy, but it has caused some power outages. It goes to show rain on its own can be enough of a problem. Further towards the west, some activity in Tennessee. That's going to bring us some extra rainfall as we get towards to especially 3 p.m. and might get some storms out of that. It did cause some severe thunderstorms further towards the west. And we are technically in a level 1 risk for storms today. That extends from parts of Ohio towards the Carolina coast and down into Florida. But the highest risk is going to be further towards the west from Dallas towards San Antonio. Then tomorrow, the storm risk stays pretty far towards our south in Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. On Sunday, we're going to have another cold front come through, but the severe risk is pretty far towards our east. So today's our best chance of storms. Our region is entirely within that level 1 marginal risk for today, but it is level 1. It's not up towards 2 or 3, so anything we get is going to be on the lighter side. This is going to press further and further up towards the northeast as we get into noon. By then, pretty dry. Again, still cloudy, so we're not going to be able to gain a lot of heat or anything, but there is a nice break from the rain. Around 3 p.m., it starts to come into West Virginia a little bit more intensely, and that's going to spread further towards the east as we get towards 4. For us, the storm chance is better around 5, 6 p.m. in those northern counties of the NRV, and then maybe along the Carolina border with some heavy rain coming in around 7. But then after that, we really start to dry up, and there's not a whole lot left over after midnight. We do still have some spotty showers left on Saturday, but in the morning we're particularly dry. So if you do want to spend some time outside, Saturday morning is looking like a pretty good option for this weekend. Now, including the rain that's already fallen, which is pretty significant at this point, and what's going to keep on falling through the afternoon and the evening, most of us get more than an inch of rain, with especially high totals, maybe getting up more than 2 inches towards Lynchburg, a lot of Nelson and Amherst County, Appomattox, Charlotte included in that as well, with our lightest amounts on that very western edge of the NRV. Temperatures are limited because of the cloud cover. Wytheville's at 51, Covington 55, and Lynchburg at 54. And throughout a lot of the region, temperatures are pretty similar. It's warmer in Atlanta, but not by a huge stretch, and it's not much colder in New York. Indianapolis, pretty close to the 50 mark. Kansas City, close to the 50 mark. It takes until you get into the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, for colder temperatures to really butt up against that heat. That's where a cold front's developing right now. That's what's going to bring our system through on Sunday. Most of us are going to stay pretty calm until then, and even that front on Sunday doesn't have a ton of energy because we're not seeing 70s right up against 20s. It's a much more neutral temperature gradient. Today, our winds are going to stay pretty calm through the afternoon. They'll be under 10 miles per hour, and so the fact that we don't have a lot of wind to work with does help to hold down the severe risk. If there was more energy supplying that, or if we had more heat, whereas temperatures today are going to be stuck in the 60s, it would provide a better risk. We just don't really have that lining up, which is good news to keep it on the low end of severe. Saturday morning, again, we're largely going to stay dry there, but we'll get some showers popping up here and there with plenty of moisture still in the region. Sunday, we've got an actual system coming through. For us, that's mostly going to be coming as a cold front. There's some warm air that tries to make its way onto the eastern side of the state, giving it that better storm chance. But for us, we might get a rumble of thunder. Hail and high winds are not particularly likely for that system. Today's temperatures are going to end up in the 60s. With that cloud cover, it's pretty hard to warm up. Blacksburg 63, Lexington 63. Martinsville does get up towards 70, but it's pretty few and far between for temperatures to get that warm. Overnight, we're around 50 for most of our lows. Pulaski 51, Bedford 53. A benefit of those clouds, we hold on to quite a bit of that heat. Helps us warm into the 70s on Saturday with a lot of our temperatures in the low to mid 70s. We might have 1 or 2 spots reaching 80. I don't expect to see that in a lot of spaces though. On Sunday, with more cloud cover building in, that's going to keep our temperatures on the cooler side and then continue to bring in cooler air for the start of next week. It takes until Thursday for us to get back into the upper 60s. Showers are going to stay pretty light after Sunday. Anything we have coming through, 20–30% chances, with Wednesday looking a little bit better for rainfall than days preceding it. Low temperatures are going to be in the 40s fairly consistently, but not quite as cold as what we had through some of last week. I don't think we're going to see any low 30s or upper 20s like we had earlier on. Now we're going to check in and see if there's any questions that you guys have. Other than that, have a hopefully safe and drier day than what we've got this morning. All right, doesn't look like we've got anything so far. So yeah, like I was saying, if you have questions, we'll be here to keep you posted throughout the day. If you have cool pictures of the clouds coming through, be sure to send them to WSLS.com/pins. And we are going to stay pretty consistently calm through a lot of next week. So if you don't want to go out today and you have the option, just wait until Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you can enjoy those calmer conditions. Bye for now.